Hello my dear students, today we are going to discuss basics about the waste and byproduct utilization. So this is regarding the first topic in the first unit, okay. So this is actually myself, Krishnavini from the Department of Agricultural Engineering. So actually what we call it as waste. So see, for example, we have different types of materials in our usage, isn't it? So whatever it is unwanted, so we can't use, that we call it as a waste. Okay, so that doesn't fight an immediate utility, we call it as a waste. And what in the surroundings we can see many garbages, and waste management is actually a very different it's a different scenario in this way, or filled with waste actually, whether it is a biodegradable or otherwise we have e-waste or everything else. Okay, so here in this actually this is for subject in agricultural engineering, so we are going to discuss about the waste of agricultural products. So this garbage is actually, this is solid waste that we get from our houses and from schools, offices, and waste management is actually a very difficult task that has to be performed by the government, the private organizations, and everything else. Okay, so industrial wastes or agricultural wastes, everything. What can be the sources of waste actually? The industrial waste, we know very well, no? So these wastes are being created in the factories and also industries. So most industries, they'll be dumping their waste in rivers and seas, and these will be causing a lot of pollution. So we would have learnt about Kuvam in Chennai city. So that is actually the resultant of the industrial waste is what the present scenario of Kuvam Lake. Okay, so that is what we are dealing about. So, example, plastic glasses, they are not degradable. Like this, commercial wastes, in the sense, we get it from schools, colleges, and etc. Plastics, papers actually, these are recyclable. But how we are going to do it, that only we'll be seeing this. And domestic waste. So, domestic waste is actually for household activities, the vegetable waste and leaves, excreta, vegetable peels, or the leftovers of fruits and everything, as we call it as the domestic waste. Actually, this domestic waste is actually what we'll have this we will be giving out to our people. Okay, so what happens actually is when you're dumping in the places, the place becomes very untidy, and that has to be done properly. So we would have known, isn't it? We'll be segregating the waste in the home itself. We are doing this. And agricultural waste is various wastes produced from the agricultural field, the cattle waste, the wheat, husk, and everything. How we are going to do that? So that is called as your agricultural waste. So normally we call it as, we'll be dividing as biodegradable and also non-biodegradable waste. Okay, so this biodegradable from the garden waste, and so this we call it as a moist waste. So these can be composed to obtain manure. So it is very important. So when you take it as a film yard manure or your biogas preparations and everything else, so this plays a major role. And this is very non-biodegradable. Newspapers you can have is your broken glass pieces. So these we call it as a dry waste. This can be recycled, but we have to and what happens is we have to come out with different processes so that we convert into some useful matter. So it is a complete cycle. So what is meant by byproduct in the sense? See, actually the food waste is organic residues. Okay, so what happens, how we are doing it by the processing of agricultural materials, and we are converting into food. Okay, so the wastewater resulting from cleaning causes a polluted water. So it will be having of less than 5% of mass and everything else. So we have to make it as that's we call it as a byproduct. Okay, so this industry is what happens actually. Market values, for example, valuable byproducts. If you have some chemicals or minerals, you can process it and you can obtain it. Okay, but additional resources has to be allocated to make it into some useful product. So recycling, reprocessing, and you have to have proper measures for the eventual utilization of food processing, etc. So thus we have to do. So these are the basics we are seeing in this. Thank you for your patient listening. So we shall meet in the next video. Bye now.